Okay, folks, so welcome. We're on day 9 of the breathing practice challenge. So I've introduced different ways of breathing, different techniques, just listening to the breath, finding the breath, shaping the breath in different ways to achieve different effects in the body. I mean, all the breathing techniques just kind of bring us back to ourselves and give us either an opportunity for down regulation, if you like, calming, or up regulation, energy and focus. So we're moving around those sort of areas with different techniques. So this week we've done more around lengthening the breath. So we're moving on to a different aspect of the breath. We're going to look initially at the pause in the breath. So what happens between the in-breath and the out-breath and the in-breath? Well, there's always a fraction of a second maybe of a pause between those two. Now we can spot it, we can notice it, we can extend it, and we can also shape the out-breath and the in-breath around the pause and what that might look like, what might feel like. So we're working today around chill and a better way to potentially get us into a more restful or even before bed and trying to help us sleep pattern. So to start off with, I mean, I'm standing, but you could sit, and I'm taking my hands to my belly for a moment. So like most days, we're just sort of starting with, so where is my breath? Can I find it? Where's it gone? And then once we find it, how do we feel it? How do we feel it? Where do we feel it? And what does that change? If anything, it might change our focus. It might take us away from something. It might bring us closer to something. It might kind of really attune us to how we are. It might be surprising. It might be coming back to the same old. So you may notice at the end of the in-breath, before the out-breath, there's a moment of pause. But it might be so subtle that you don't notice. So let's make it clear. Yeah. So after you take a breath in, just pause for a second, the breath yourself, and then breathe out. Let the breath come back to. It's normal. It's normal for you. Just notice if you're feeling different by creating the pause, what it felt like to kind of stop the breath almost just for a second, or hold the breath for a second. So what we're going to do now, surprise, surprise, is we're going to create a pause after the out breath. Okay, so when we start playing with the breath, we might forget if it's the end of the out breath, we start bringing it in the in breath, we might do it in both. we might get confused and we're not quite sure whether we're doing the pause or not. So it's just an experience. It's just seeing how that plays out for you. So what we're going to do is the 4-7-8 breath. Now, what I've been suggesting probably all the way through, certainly for most of the sessions, is to breathe in and out through your nose. Through the 4-7-8 breath technique, we're actually going to be breathing out through the lips. So, and it's a reasonably strong breath rather than a soft breath. So it's allowing more of the breath to go out. So earlier in the week, we did a stronger out breath and a stronger in breath, a deeper breath. So we're going to do that with the lip movement. So we're going to breathe in for 4. We're going to pause the breath for 7, which sounds a long time. And then we're going to out breath for 8, which sounds like a long time. But if it is blown out through the lips, that's more easy to manage the lengthening of the breath. So to make it more visually easy, and you can do this or not, yeah, I'll be taking my arms up for a count of 4. I'll be pausing for a count of 7. And I'll be bringing the arms back down for a count of 8. So you can watch without having to think about the count so much. And I can be quiet after a few rounds. So I just need to get into my own count. And then you can just hopefully visually get it. And that sometimes taking the count out of it makes it easier to follow. See how we go. So I'll do 1 round with the count. I'll pause, and then we'll do 4 rounds. See how you go. So take a breath in, 2, 3, 4. Pause the breath, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out breath. And pause. Let's just practice that out breath again. So it sounds like the seashell breathe, like the breath that you hear when you put the seashell over your ears, or a really soft breeze going through. But there isn't, there is as I say, a particular strength to that. So it's not harsh, but there is a power behind it, if you like. So we take the arms up for 4, pause for 7, and bring and work on 8. So we might get it or we might not. So if you start thinking, oh, it's too much, then you just reduce the number. So I'm not going to do the count, but I'll be counting in my head while I raise, hold, and lower my arms. So when you're ready, taking a breath in. Breath back to your normal. Take the hands to the belly. Okay, clearly so chill. I just want to follow the breath now. Okay, so it's an awake chill. It's not a sleepy chill. It's a okay. So I wouldn't suggest doing more than 4 of those at any one time. Maybe you could do that in the morning and in the evening if you wanted to try them out to just see if it's different at different times of day, whether it helps you kind of be ready for the day, whether it helps you to be ready for sleep or not. And just experiment, really. That's what this week is about. And I will see you for day 10 tomorrow. Thank you for joining me.